Hello friends, welcome to my channel, myself Parag Dambulkar. In last video, we have seen different phases in the life cycle of thread. In this video, we will see how to create threads in Java language. So basically, many programming languages they support multi-threading. In C and C++ language, you can use POSIX threads. So there you can include pthread header file, and by using that you can create multiple threads. Also you can use OpenMP API, and by using that you can create multiple threads. Java language also supports multi-threading. In Java language, to create multiple threads there are two ways. One is by implementing runnable interface, and another is by extending thread class. So runnable is an interface which we have to implement, and thread is a standard class which we have to extend. So by this two way we can create multiple threads in Java language. So first I will explain how to create multiple threads, and then we'll run the program. So see, this is the our class, and here we are implementing runnable interface. As runnable is an interface, so all the methods are abstract. Methods are abstract in the sense there is no body written for the methods. So this runnable interface provides one method, that is run. We are writing some statements in run method. So whatever the statements you are writing in run method, that will be the task allocated to particular thread. That means that thread execute this statement. So see, we have created one class, and there we are writing main method. So anyhow execution starts from the main method. So for that class we have created one object. Suppose we have created object p. T is our class where we have implemented runnable interface. Then we are creating object of thread class, and there we are passing that object p, and then we are calling start method. So whenever we are creating object, it is in a newborn stage, and whenever we are calling start method, it goes to the active state, that is the runnable and running phase. So it is better if you see through programs. So look at this. Here we are creating one thread. So this is the class T where we are implementing a runnable interface. Runnable interface provides one method run, and there we have written some statements. Now to create thread, we are creating object of this class T. Then we are creating object of thread class T1, and there we are passing this P as a parameter. And then we are calling start method. Start method is given by thread class. So when we run this program, we'll check output. So program is compiled. Now we will run it. Okay. So by this way we have created one thread in our program. Now we will create another thread, and we'll give same task to that thread. So for creating another thread, we'll create one more object of thread class, and we'll pass this object p. As we have created new object t2, so it will be used for the second thread. Now to start running of that thread, we need to call start method. Okay. So now we have created two threads, and both the threads they have the same task, that is they are printing this thread is running. We'll run this program. So again we'll compile it. and now we are running it. So we have created two threads and both the threads they are printing thread is running as we have given same task to both the threads. Now what we want to allocate different tasks to another thread. So we'll create one more thread, but this time we'll not give this task. We'll provide another task to that thread. So for that, we need to create one more class and there we have to implement a runnable interface. So I just copy this code. I have pasted it. I give some another name to this class. So suppose I am giving name T1. Here also I am implementing a runnable interface. Run method provided by the runnable interface, and here thread is running, so we'll allocate some different tasks. So instead of thread is running, now we are mentioning new thread is running. So we are creating another thread, so that thread will perform this task. So it will print new thread is running, and previously we have created two threads, so those will print thread is running. Now see, we have created another class. For that, we'll create one more object t p1 is equal to new t1. Okay, so actually we have created t1 class and p1 is the object of t1 class. New t1. Okay, we need to create one more object of thread class. So I'm providing name t3 is equal to new thread, and this time we are passing this object p1 object. P1 is the object of this t1 class. So here we will pass it. And again we need to call start method. So t3 dot start method. So basically we are creating three threads. Two threads they have the same task, that is similar task. So this will execute this. Again we are creating third thread and this third thread will execute this part. So we'll save it and now we will run it. So just I clear it. Okay, we are compiling it. So we didn't get any error. Now we will run it. So look at this. Here we got three threads. So two threads they have the similar task while third thread has a different task. Again we will run it. If you observe this output, now see, new thread is running. This is second statement. Here if you check, new thread is running is a third statement. Again it is a second statement, third statement, second statement. So we are getting different result each time when you run that program. This is happening because all the threads they are running simultaneously. These threads are mapped to the processor core. Whatever the processor core is free, that thread is get executed, and that's why we get the different result. All the three threads they are running simultaneously. These threads are ready to run. So based on this processor core is get freed, so that processor core run that thread, and that's why we are getting different result each time. So in this way we create multiple threads in Java language, but here we are implementing runnable interface. Now there is one more option by extending class thread. I will provide this link in chat box. From there you can take this program code. So we have seen by implementing a runnable interface. Now we'll see how to create threads by extending thread class. So look at this. So for that we need to create one class. There we have to extend thread class. So thread is a standard class that is provided by the Java library. This thread class is providing one method, that is a run. Here we need to override run method. We need to provide some statements for this run method. What are the statements we write for the run method? That will be the task allocated to the particular thread, just similar to the previous example. And then we need to create object of that class, whatever the class we have created there, and by using that object we need to call start method. Start is the method provided by the thread class. So in this way we are creating the thread. So better we see examples. Okay, so this is the class T we have created. There we have extended thread class. There we have overridden a run method. We have created object P1, and by using that P1 object we have called start method. So we'll run this program. Okay, it got compiled successfully. Now we will run it. Okay, so we got the output. So we have created one thread. In the same way, we will create another thread and we'll give same task to that thread. So to create another thread, we'll create one more object. So we'll give some name P2 of T class, and for that again we will call the start method. Okay, so in this example we are creating two threads and we are calling start method for that, and both the threads we are allocating similar tasks. So what task we are providing? They will print thread is running. So whenever start method is called, implicitly a run method is called. Okay, so we'll save it and we'll run this. So we'll compile first. It got compiled successfully. Now we are running. So see, previously we have created only one thread and now we are creating two threads, but both the threads they have the similar task, that is they are printing thread is running. Now we will create another thread, but this time we will provide another task, we will allocate another task, different task. So for that we need to create one more class. So we'll copy it. So we'll give some another name. So suppose I want to give name T1. There also we are extending thread class and we are overriding run method, and we'll give some different tasks to this thread. So here I am writing new thread is running. Okay. So in the same way, so we will create one object of T1. We'll give some name for this object P3 new T1. Okay. So we have created object. Now we'll call start method by using this object. Okay, so here in this case we have created three threads, and for that we have called start method. One more thing is, out of these three threads, two threads they have similar tasks. Similar tasks in the sense they are running this run method, while our third thread is running these statements. We'll check it. So we will compile it. It got compiled successfully. Now we'll run it. Okay, so three threads we have created. Two threads they have similar task. They are printing thread is running, while one thread is printing new thread is running. Again, we'll compile it. Okay, sorry, we'll run it. Okay, in the same way, in the previous example that we have seen, see here new thread is running is the second statement. Here is also second statement. Here it is a third statement. Here is also third statement. Here it is a second statement. So again same way, in previous example that we have seen, we are getting different result when we run that. So each time, most of the time we are getting different result. What is the reason? All the threads they are running simultaneously. One thing, these threads are mapped to the processor core. Whatever the processor core is freed first, so that will run that particular thread, and that's why we get different result. So all the threads they are ready to run. Whatever the processor core is free, that processor core will run that particular thread, and that's why we are getting different result. Okay, so in this way we have extended thread class and we have created multiple threads in Java language. So I will provide this link in description box. So from there you can take this code. Okay, so in this way we are creating multiple threads in Java language, and there are two ways. One is by implementing a runnable interface, and second is by extending thread class. Okay. So friends, I hope you like this video. If yes, then click on like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press bell icon so that you will get notification of my next video. So stay connected. Thank you.